Cameras in post. Perfect. Let me do that one more time. Can you see my hand?
Take one. Take one.
Okay.
How also began? So I fell to a bat cave and I was very scared.
Tell us about the beginning. Just from the start. Okay.
Let's start at the beginning.
We have a responsibility that we all know and that we all share. We use that as fuel to protect the world's critical infrastructure.
And everybody that I work with here believes the same thing that I believe, is that we're here to protect our way of life.
If you take a look at OpSWAT over its 20 years, they've consistently made bold decisions to protect critical infrastructure in ways nobody else has really thought of.
OpSWAT has a great solution for ensuring that no file entering the organization takes that organization down.
I was always fascinated about cyber threats. I found it challenging, complex, and exciting. And this is where our journey begins.
This is where it all began.
I founded OpSWAT in 2002. I was investigating cyber threats, and my conclusion is that many of these threats could have been prevented if the cybersecurity products will have great communication protocols and will actually talk. So the first big idea that I really wanted to do was to build a cybersecurity language. Initially, I thought the cybersecurity language would come from the network. The reality taught me that actually it came from the endpoint, and that was a very big aha moment. And with the introduction of Oasis, OpSWAT was born. Landing the first customer was really exciting. Great, they won the product. Now we are in negotiation. This is great. Okay, now I need to get an attorney. Hey, Tom.
When I first met with Benny to discuss a consulting arrangement, that was at the Mission Street office. And that was probably not a selling point. Because Mission Street was grungy, would be charitable.
We end up at 6th and Mission. 6th and Mission is a pretty rough part of town. Drug use around you, gunshots at night.
Remember here we started, it was like we were 4 employees.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, actually 3.5 if you really think about contractors, and like 10 customers, 10 active customers. It was intimidating for customers to come over here, and also we need a slightly bigger space. So we moved up.
953 Mission was great time. Very much Oasis was born. We started having some of the first customer. And then relatively quickly, we started acquiring more and more customers. More VPN customers, more network access control customers, more compliance customers. We had great momentum. We also had a big impact on the industry. And we had to move to a bigger office, 482nd Street.
Remember this office? That was our second office. That's a big upgrade, you know? It's like,
Absolutely. By the time I started working with Benny on a regular basis and coming to the office, we had enough projects. That was at 482nd. It was still a very modest office, small, tight team. I knew we were gonna do something special when Benny moved next door into the bigger suite. It was probably 3 or 4 times the size.
OpSWAT Mission from the start was to create a cybersecurity language, a single development interface to manage and communicate with every application, any application.
From an organization like Cisco, we had tried to find out a way to work with all of the different vendors themselves in a mutually defined architecture for how we can ask each other those questions. That proved to be too problematic.
Any security company needs a single development interface to manage, integrate to any security application, and this is what Oasis is all about.
So what OpSWAT was able to do is provide an answer for that question that spanned all the software you may end up running on that system, which was exactly what an organization is looking for, and a vendor like Cisco was looking for to be able to get that answer from a single source. If you don't have that, then you have to find out a way to use different software for all of the different things that you may have installed and try to find an answer from each one, and that is very complicated to make sure it organizes, and there's no clear way to solve it that way.
The market needs an integration language. The market needs compliance. The market needs endpoint protection.
And the approach that OpSWAT had taken in market of being able to be kind of Switzerland around all of the other players who provided the security technology that was running on, computers that people were using, and neutral to all the vendors who wanted to do compliance assessment, and yet was able to make them all link together so that a single vendor like us could rely on an OpSWAT technology base, which would provide a vendor neutral and cross-platform, kind of cross-software layer between all of that and the security things that you needed, and do it well, even though small, was brilliant.
Oasis started as an integration language, and quickly it evolved from integration language to a full endpoint security SDK. And whenever we realized this idea, we understood that actually we are having a much bigger opportunity here. Not only to create a cybersecurity language, it is very important, still running, very important, to impact and to become a very relevant cybersecurity company that protect organizations from extremely advanced threats and be very effective. The company was on fire. That was the time that started getting acquisition offers. Got acquisition offers from publicly traded large companies and really nice offers. If a company would acquire us, will it be immediately associated with that company? It will make it extremely hard for that company to continue on the mission of Oasis. So the whole point of Oasis is to stay neutral. So it has to be like kind of its own neutral standpoint to truly impact the cybersecurity industry. The reasons I did not sell early on was the vision and the mission of the company and its ability to truly impact the cybersecurity market. We're creating something that is built and is built to last. 482nd Street was true prime time for Oasis Framework and the incubation for MetaDefender.
And one of the hallmarks of OpSWAT, in my mind, and one of the reasons why I continue to be excited to work at OpSWAT, is Benny's insights into what the market needs. It may not know that it needs it now, but if we start developing it now, the market ends up catching up with us. No antivirus product was perfect 100% of the time. So Benny had another great idea, which was create a multi-scanner, which eventually became MetaDefender.
We've been looking at threats and all kinds of threats happening. And we said, it would be really cool if we take all of these antiviruses and combine them to a single platform and then scan files. And by doing that, pretty much combining them all could theoretically eliminate any cybersecurity threats. And so we did. We start reaching out to all of these antiviruses. We asked them, hey, do you have an SDK? Do you have an engine? Can you give it to us? We'll pay you money for that. This is great. We already have the relationship. We want to build a multi-scanner with all of these great engines.
OpSWAT came to ESET and asked about using our antivirus engine in their product. And I remember back then it was kind of a stretch, and our head of business development actually kind of made a special, I guess, consideration for OpSWAT, and that's where the partnership began. So after that initial business relationship that OpSWAT formed with ESET, that ended up becoming this product called MetaDefender.
And we start building Metascan. Metascan, really to take a file and And the ambition was to protect organization from any cyber threats.
What you're getting today through, for instance, email, web browsing, maybe portable media being connected to systems, all of those need to be scanned. But when we come down to that single vendor solution, you run the risk of missing something. So MetaDefender, again, takes those 30 plus AV engines and combines them and then scans across the whole ecosystem.
And after we built the Moody scanner, quickly we figured out that even we combine 30 different antivirus together, that's not enough. This is when CDR was born. Deep CDR technology, back then we call it data sanitization, assumes every file is malicious. We assume everything is malicious, so the vision and the mission was to regenerate a new file, look exactly like the original file. However, we generate it so it's free of malware. And we start deploying it to customers, and it really worked. It worked in a deterministic fashion to a point Homeland Security could not penetrate this thing.
It's like boiling water. If you go camping, the stream or lake, the water could be good, it could make you sick, but if you boil it, you're not gonna get sick, you still get to drink water.
Several amazing things happened at 482nd Street. Oasis really took off, and the formation, the foundation of MetaDefender really happened.
By that time, it felt like 40, 50 people. And once again,
We need something actually bigger. We start scouting for other offices.
Benny is bold. I just have to decide, all right, let's roll with it and see what happens. And many more times than not, it turns out to be a good idea.
642nd Street, things really started to take off. We had Oasis, we had MetaDefender, and a huge demand for these two products. Together with that, the team grew. We had a team to really execute on delivering and executing on these two products.
When I first joined OpSWAT back in 2009, I was an intern. I still remember the days that when the company went to our school affair and talk about recruitment. And I stopped by for a piece of pizza. And I was like, what is this company? Cybersecurity. That's interesting. And I was programming a single applications from the beginning. And I was able to grow myself, the team, the products, all the way through the journey.
We seem to attract people who are persistent and stay with the company. EE's been with the company, 14 years? Dan, 12 years?
At that time, it was I think it was like a 35-person company. We were on 2nd Street, one floor, everybody in the company in one basically giant room together.
In San Francisco, we had to deal with many, many more things. We're accounting, we have way more customers. These IT customers need to get support.
And I joined to lead both professional services and support. And OpSWAT was going through a really interesting transition at that time. So we had been basically we'd been in the OEM space, dealing with OEM software, and we were moving to more and more enterprise software. And selling to enterprise customers, it's a whole different game. So we had to quickly scale up our support, the way we do support, the way we interact with our customers, building leading edge support systems, having the ability to have case management and chat and phone support. That was a challenge that we took on and did very, very successfully.
At 642nd Street, we truly stood behind the zero trust philosophy. I know it was way ahead of its time. Oasis is taking off. Metascan also started taking off, and we started getting really interesting customers for Metascan. We're getting homeland securities of countries. We're getting critical infrastructure. We're getting banks.
There was a customer from the nuclear facilities asking, hey, we got a problem that we got these USB drives that coming in from outside. We heard that you guys have some technologies can scan it, but we don't have the form factors to run your software and hardware on it. What can we do? And we're like, that's us.
We started getting requests to deploy the technologies in MetaDefender, multi-scanning, deep CDR, in a solution that could scan portable media before that media went beyond an air gap into a controlled environment.
We designed the first MetaDefender kiosk. At the time, it was called MetaDefender for Media. So we took it literally that this was the problem the customer having, and we had the right technologies, the right mindsets, and all we need is to put something together quickly for addressing that use cases. And that's the first iteration of the MetaDefender kiosk.
And all these power companies, all they cared about was a solution that helped them pass their audits. And once we established our first 2 or 3 customers that passed their audits, they told all the other companies. We had amazing adoption. We went from probably a couple of customers in 2012 to essentially being the de facto standard in US nuclear by 2016.
All of that is basically a precursor of OPSWAT stepping into the enterprise market. It's trying to take care of more than the technology-based customers, more onto the end user front.
One of the biggest challenges, one of the big challenges we had was scaling Oasis. 2008, Silicon Valley, it's really hard to go and get talent. It's really hard to scale.
It was really hard to find talent in the Bay Area. There was so much competition, not just within cybersecurity, but just tech generally. It was a gold rush. And OPSWAT wasn't a giant publicly traded or billion-dollar unicorn VC company. It was a bootstrap. It was Benny's money at risk. So he needed to find a cost-effective solution.
So we had to see what we can do. We're looking at multiple options. We've been looking of option to go and scale in the Bay Area and also for option to scale outside the Bay Area. And this is why I decided to go and visit Vietnam.
Before I met Benny in 2012, I built a social network for Vietnam, like Facebook, with more than 1 million users. But then Facebook came to Vietnam, and I feel the business is not viable anymore, so I wanted to find a new home for the team. And that's how I met Benny. When he came, he saw the environment, he saw the people, he saw the cultures, and he saw the infrastructures. And that got him excited. Vietnam is about the energy, the youth, the young generations. And that is a key thing. And Vietnamese people, they value education. And that is where the human resource for technology is for. So I convinced him to come to Vietnam.
Though before we came here, I wasn't really familiar with technology companies or too many technology companies, and definitely not cyber companies, that they decided to go and build a facility in Vietnam and in Ho Chi Minh City. I was concerned about the quality and the education level, so I decided to come here to several universities. I said, hey, Dad, can you bring me to some universities? I want to talk to some students. Let's talk to some students to go and check it out. So we went together and we asked them some questions, some technical questions, whether it's theory of computation, coding, networking, all kinds of topics we thought are going to be very relevant for cybersecurity, specific to our type of business. We got super excited. Talent was fantastic, questions were right on, and we said, yes, let's do it.
Cybersecurity is an ever-evolving landscape with a lot of threats going on. And so I think our product has to consistently evolve to keep up with the trends and the threats that is going to attack businesses, companies, organizations. What brings me to work every day is the motivation from my teammates, my coworkers, and the drive behind what I do, which is protecting the world's critical infrastructure.
No matter who you are or what is your position, your voice can always be heard.
We are special. We are one of the best one to work for in Vietnam. We started with around 35 people around 5 years ago, and then we grow around that more than 50% every year, and now we have nearly 300 people. Here, the people want to raise the bar to achieve the highest standard. Environment here is very special. I believe that Upswat culture, the way people always mission-oriented, teamwork, and strive for excellency have a very big impact on the team in Vietnam. We are mission-oriented. We are teamwork people.
I think Upswat like a family. For example, I can share anything with my manager, and his name is Paul, and he always shares the best advice for me to solve my problem.
Every day I get to tackle new challenges. I'm proud about myself, and I'm happy that I can make contribution to the company.
The proudest moment together with the team, Upswat Vietnam rewarded best company to work for in Asia in the third consecutive years is a reward, and I'm happy that we are recognized by the industry, by the market for what we are and what we do in Vietnam. And when I raised the cup of best company to work for in Asia for the first time, I feel very proud. Critical infrastructure is always very, very important, a vital role. Nowadays, the threat, the risk to critical infrastructure become more and more complicated and sophisticated because of digital transformation.
I really like the continuous effort put into research and development for each product. I think it's the backbone of every software as a service technology, and it's very important to build your product based on research and evidence so that when you put it out there in the market, you make sure that your product meets what the customer needs.
It's very important to listen to the customer, because what we want to do is we want to protect their environment, their infrastructure. Every customer has a different demand, so we need to listen to every feature request from them to build a perfect product.
In Upswat Vietnam, we had two visions from the day zero. First, to become a strategic location of Upswat globally. Second, to become an employer of choice for Vietnam talent.
The employees are very important to us. We need to focus on them, and focusing on them means focusing on the families, focusing on the parents, focusing on their significant others. In Asia Pacific, this is extremely important, and if it's important to the employees, it's important to the company, it's important to me.
This is the first time I have the opportunity to bring my family members to the office, and it's really wonderful to me.
I took my mom to our office, and my mom was really happy, excited, and proud to know that our daughter is working here.
It's all about the families and also big respect to Asia Pacific culture and Vietnam culture. So Vietnam was up and running. Everything actually went really well with Vietnam. The engineering scale there, the ticket counts for Oasis were down, the customers were happier. And then we faced additional challenges, which is to scale our MetaDefender development. As we're adding more engines and more deployment, there was a very strong need for us to build a MetaDefender Linux version. We've been really struggling to go and find the right talent in every location. You can't find the talent. Even if you have the money, you cannot find the talent. I mean, the Bay Area was on fire.
We had a need for engineers, specifically engineers who could respond to customer requests to make a Linux version of MetaDefender.
We've been craving for engineers in our MetaDefender platform. And Hungary met this challenge.
We are engineers. We like resolving problems. The worst thing that can happen is if somebody has a good idea and doesn't share it.
We have a responsibility that we all know and that we all share. We use that as fuel to protect the world's critical infrastructure.
Protecting the world's critical infrastructure is something that really exciting. It's more than just a task, it is really a mission.
The Hungarian office is focusing on research and development, continuously improving and developing our product, because the threat landscape where our products need to compete in is also continuously developing.
2014, we're in the Bay Area. MetaDefender really starting to take off. We need MetaDefender to be compiled on different operating systems, and we are looking for experts.
Benny contacted me with an idea to set up a small team to deliver a Linux version of the Metascan product.
Szilárd is someone I truly respect, a true technologist. He actually sold me on Veszprém. He said, hey, Veszprém, it's a great place. You have a great university. You have access to amazing talent, folks that truly care about code and the quality of the code. Initially, the office started really with a small team, 10 team members, which is relatively small, at least in our standards.
Cohesive teams, from my perspective, is a key foundation of a great product. Because if you do have a friendly relationship with your colleagues, it's much easier to discuss and challenge the ideas during the product design. You really need the strong core engineering team to keep up the high quality of the product. Everyone just wanted to deliver the best possible solution.
MetaDefender Core version 4 brought a big impact to the company since it brought the customers more flexibility to utilize MetaDefender Core in the way they wanted to.
I had a friend, former colleague, who invited me to OPSWAT just to visit the office. And there I met Szilárd and I met the other team members. I liked it very much. Suddenly this invitation turned into an interview, and after that I got an offer as an engineering manager, and I didn't hesitate and I accepted that offer. The Hungarian office was really like a startup.
Csaba is a great leader. He really cares about the people. Also, I find Csaba is like a visionary in HR and operation. They keep coming up with how to excite the team, how to make the team working together. And it's not only team building, it's the open communication concept, encouraging people to really talk about not only about the product, it's about the feeling and how it's affecting them.
I think it is very important to build a strong and cooperative management layer that are not above the people, but with the people. Cooperation is the key. We accept new ideas, and this kind of openness helps us to resolve bigger problems, bigger issues, and it helps us to develop better products. These ideas should be driven by the market need.
The landscape's not going to stand still, especially with modern evolutions in AI. I mean, even with large language models, things like phishing attacks are going to become more sophisticated very, very soon, if we're not already seeing it. So as the landscape changes, we have to change too. And I think OPSWAT is an excellent company when it comes to identifying where the cybersecurity landscape is shifting and making sure that we do everything we can to stand in front of the threats that arrive.
So what brings me to work every day from a personal point of view is the sense of duty as a father and as a husband to take care of my family. And from a professional point of view is the opportunity that every new day gives me to create something new, something exciting that brings value to our customers.
OPSWAT is giving us a kind of a free hand to do other things the way we do here in Hungary. They trust us, we feel empowered. It makes things work more effectively.
The culture here in the Hungarian office, I can say, is very receptive and very rich. You are part of a family here. You don't feel you are coming to work. You are actually coming to, maybe you can call it your second home.
I think the key is to listen to people. Most people would like to work at a company that provides more than just work. I think these small things makes every day better and happier.
The OPSWOT Veszprém office is a strategic business unit to us. Our existing platform includes more than 20 products. Our vision extends to more than 50. With the leadership that I've seen from Csaba and additional leadership team that he built underneath, I very much encourage the company to invest much more in Veszprém. And in the future, I see that we'll do much more. The Hungary office is an integral part of our plan to grow OPSWOT. 2008 to 2012, we became an enterprise company. With customers came the support need. Now it's not only an OEM that we're doing like only as level 3 support, level 4 support. Now we have to do level 1 support, level 2 support. And immediately we had to go and scale the support team to support all of our Meta Defender deployment. And then it just hit us, and it hit us hard. We need support, we need it now, and we need it fast. The Romania office is a very important piece of how we plan to grow into the future.
So here in Romania, the customer success team serves about 40% of the overall global customer success support cases, I would say. The people are talented, they can speak languages. We're all focused on the OPSWOT mission to protect the world's critical infrastructure. They're passionate about their job.
A company called Redder Software, where most of the employees were based in Romania, hit our radar. We realized that if we acquired them, we could get some interesting IP, but more importantly, a cohesive group of software engineers and support. And that was something that was particularly interesting to us to help us really complete our follow the sun support model, time zones that were not easily covered by either San Francisco or Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and Romania filled that void.
I stumbled across a company called Red Earth Software. Had a great support team out here in Romania, in Timișoara. So I went with Mike to Timișoara here. We went to go and check out the company. And then we're entering, it was like, I think a third or second floor just above a cancer radiation center. I was freaking out. I was holding my I didn't know what to do. It was like, I was really freaking out. I'm not entering this space. I'm not allowing employees to enter this space. Are you guys crazy? No freaking way we're gonna go and have an office here. And then we went up and we met with this interesting attorney. The guy said, let's go. I'll show you a really cool office. And then I'm going to this office, really beautiful, pretty much nice, kind of looks like a video game. And then there is a guy there. George, yeah? The last man standing.
We used to have a gaming studio, two of my friends and I. We did probably like everything wrong.
George and I were working in a gaming company that we were both founders of it. I mean, we were developing a social multiplayer game at that time, and the company was going bankrupt.
I said, that's a nice space overlooking the castle here. A nice facility. No radiations, at least I can see around us.
The office back then, that gaming studio was really cool as well. So he was like, all excited.
Yeah, that looks cool. And also George, he showed leadership. Chief Operating Officer, someone that knows facilities. Also the last man standing, must be trusted. And also it was really fun.
I was trying to advise them how they can actually succeed, hiring good engineers and so on. Benny really liked me, so he was like, okay, let's give George a shot.
Boom. George became the first general managers of OPSWOT Romania here in Timișoara.
What OPSWOT actually managed to offer me was actually what I was missing in my previous company. Building a product that solves a problem, providing a better solution on exceeding the expectation of a customer on how to solve that problem.
And then George is calling me and saying, hey, Benny, I won the lottery. I said, congratulations. Who is filling lottery these days? I said, no, lottery for a green card to come to the United States of America. I said, oh, congratulations, this is great. So what do you plan to do? I said, I want to move to the States and I want to continue and work for OPSWAT. Then we had to really think hard who shows leadership in the Romania office, who shows trust, who can really pull the office together, who can bring the office to the next step.
Benny had trust in me to kind of take whatever George built and maybe take it further, one step further.
Alin was an obvious choice, and this is how Alin became the general manager of Romania and took Romania to where we see it today. The Romania office is responsible for customer success, MetaDefender for secure storage, and MetaDefender Cloud for file upload security. These three products are extremely important for securing critical infrastructure around the world. This is the high-level vision of the company. This is your responsibility. Now run with it. Show me what you got. Show me creativity. Show me passion.
I think what motivates me and what keeps me going is the fact that I like to build things. I like to see things that where I put my effort to grow and expand, right? And this is exactly what has happened in the past 8 years. We've grown from the 13 people, 14 people that we were in 2015 to more than 60 right now.
It's been amazing. When I started, we only had a handful of products. So customers came up to us with different challenges that we didn't have the solutions for. As time went by, we added more products into the OPSWAT portfolio. Now we can provide solutions to customers in the IT and in the OT networks. We have a very mature offering and solution set for all our customers.
OPSWAT is a product company, and it has this vision of building great products for our customers, understanding what the problem is, and trying to come up with solutions via the products that we have for them. People that we have here, software engineers, not software developers. Software engineers, I think, need to go one step further. They need to write the code, but they also need to understand the problem and to solve the problem and to maybe anticipate some of the issues that may arise from the way that they build that code. We want to be the best. We want to be the best in cybersecurity and in the way that we build the products.
In the product team, you can participate with your ideas on how you think the product can be better. You can have a direct impact on that product. OPSWAT empowers people to be creative, to build based on their vision.
So in terms of usability, especially for the critical infrastructure customers, that's key, right? The engineers in the plant floor, in the shop floor, they want products that are very easy to use, simple enough. The user interface should be simple and straightforward. And that's what our products deliver, right? A powerful cybersecurity platform that's simple to use, literally needs no training for the end users to use it, and they get the value add from the product once it's implemented in their network.
OPSWAT has a very unique and very complex technologies that we bring to the user. The usability team wants to have a seamless experience for every end user. The click is right there, right? He remembers what steps needs to be done. We try to have a seamless experience for every end user.
We built one product, the product went really well, so let's create another product. Now another product is going. Now as we speak, we have the third one coming up. I'm looking at Romania as a strategic business unit for OPSWAT.
We have a lot of customers, enterprise customers that say, okay, we want to move from the premise, we want to move into the cloud, and all the products that we have here are actually having a cloud component. So we are looking a lot into this future where cybersecurity is not going to be done only on premise and only in air-gapped networks, it's also going to be done in the cloud.
The customer success team, they're very essential to the success of the company.
OPSWAT really cares about what customers needs and what they are requesting, right? So as soon as we get the request, we analyze it, and we are trying to see what's the best way to address it and respond in a timely manner.
We don't really want to only be present in a market, we want to be a leader in that market.
I think we're very dynamic in terms of delivering solutions to our customers, so they should expect to get best-of-breed technologies and solutions from OPSWAT in the coming years.
One of the strengths of OPSWAT is not to try to enforce sort of a US template. The Vietnam subsidiary is very much a Vietnamese company. Same thing with the Hungarian subsidiary, same thing with the Romanian subsidiary. They all have their own cultures, and that's why they've flourished.
Although it's each one of these units working on their own specific product, there is a great deal of collaboration. And also by doing that, by sharing the ideas, you improve your global operation efficiencies. After great 4 years at 640 2nd Street, it was very clear to us we need to move on to our next destiny. We came across 398 Kansas Street and we end up making it our new home, investing in a really nice, charming environment that will enable us to continue to innovate, to collaborate, to treat our customers and employees very respectfully.
When we moved to the Kansas Street office, it was like this jump in light years in terms of quality. This place is a showcase.
There are three major developments in the company. The first phase was the OASIS, the cybersecurity language phase. The second phase was the firewall for data. The third phase is the critical infrastructure protection.
Our mission is to protect the world's critical infrastructure. We realize that through the validation and all of the feedbacks that we heard from prospective customers to partners to technical partners.
We are sitting on something much, much bigger than the firewall of data. We can build the first critical infrastructure protection company that has a huge future. It's like amazing future.
And we are still the thought leader in the space.
By protecting critical infrastructure, we ensure that the organizations that make the modern way of life possible continue to operate unimpeded by cyber attacks.
And a very important piece, maybe the most important piece, is a training academy.
We were seeing firsthand that there were our customers, our prospects, our partners just didn't have the cybersecurity and critical infrastructure protection skills. There is a huge skills gap in this area. Opswa is doing its part to help address that skills gap.
I'm sitting down with many critical infrastructure companies and they have a big challenge. They have this data transfer and they have a workforce and they don't know what to do with the workforce. What they can do, get them to a firewall certification, to an antivirus certification. Their needs are different.
Having a tool like an online training platform in OPSWAT Academy was a really natural next step. And we didn't have anything that was as accessible as we would have liked at the time. Having OPSWAT Academy as a roadmap item was always something that I know that Benny wanted.
So we built Academy that is not like another antivirus training or firewall training, something that truly connect to the IT and cybersecurity folks in critical infrastructure and training what is critical infrastructure, what is CDR, what are the compliance mandates they need, what is Purdue model.
OPSWAT Academy plays a crucial role in achieving OPSWAT's broader missions to protect the world's critical infrastructure by solving the skills shortage problem in industry and by enabling our customers to efficiently manage their environment through OPSWAT products. The Academy enhances the overall effectiveness and preparation of individuals and organizations to tackle cybersecurity challenges in SIP environment.
We have over 100,000 students in Academy.
Which is a platform that allows companies like OPSWAT and peers, automation vendors, etc., to collaborate on producing cross-organization cybersecurity trainings, certifications, expert opinions, webinars, videos. It's like a one-stop shop for people to stay current on critical infrastructure protection.
You have 423 different cybersecurity certification. Our certification focus on really the critical infrastructure certification. Now, we've been proving that we know to invest. And our working capital is working really great. Our bootstrap mentality and our bootstrap DNA is really working great for us. So at OPSWAT, we made several acquisitions. So it's not only we're looking at the technology, oh, let's kind of go and see what's happening with it. We can't afford to do that. We can't afford to make this mistake. Number one thing that we're looking at is the people. The company is nothing without the people, nothing. Number two, as important is the technology and the product. Can it really accelerate our trajectory, whether it's globally or sometimes even in a specific market?
In 2019, we made an acquisition which has been very important to the development of the company. We acquired Impulse, based in Tampa, Florida.
So we've been always excited about network access control technologies, SDP, VPN technologies. We always figure that, okay, we need to get hold of these technologies for critical infrastructure protection. I know Impulse for years. There used to be customers. They did great. The technology was good. And more importantly, their team was amazing.
The product line that I was mainly leading and developing was the endpoint security network access control side, we're acquiring a solution just for that. We're acquiring a team that has all the knowledge, all the experience in the background just for that. This was our dream, and the dream came true.
Through the acquisition of Impulse, we gained several product lines that were of interest to us. We also obtained personnel and a presence in Florida that gave us better coverage for the East Coast, easier coverage for our folks in Romania and Hungary to work with. It again improved our sort of follow the sun development model, our follow the sun support model.
So to have a base that's sort of geographically co-located where so many of our customers are is just a huge, huge benefit.
I always wanted to go and build a bigger operation in the East Coast. Most of our customers are at the East Coast, a proximity to Europe, also ability to go and scale. I mean, domestic operation, it's really, really hard to scale in California, much easier to go and scale at the East Coast. And this is why we're so excited to have our world headquarters here in Tampa.
We knew that we wanted to focus on a collaborative space where we could really promote collaboration and innovation for our team members, but also knew that kind of the expectation of our team members was changing. As they're looking at the office space that they go to and feel comfortable in post-pandemic, we need to take that all in mind.
Sometimes design influence culture. I want to go and bring things to the office that our employees does not have at home. So to bring all of the toys in there to connect that to a point that it's not like they have to go to the office, they like to go to the office. I believe that innovation does not happen at your desk. It happens at the coffee machine, it happens at the pool table. This is where innovation happens, teamwork happens. Whenever you see each other, you work together, you overhear someone to a point that's gonna go and really help you to go and make a decision. Tampa is an HQ. HQ, you have multiple functions, like any other company. Most of our domestic support is done here from Tampa. We have engineering. Most of our domestic sales is done from here. We have the HR. We have a financial team here. We have a marketing communication team here. So everything that you think the global marketing communication is here.
We were able to leverage our move to Tampa in the world of support and professional services and just start hiring great people.
We're always looking for ways to connect what we do to our audience. When COVID hit, we had a big challenge with our customers. We couldn't meet them. We couldn't bring them to a lab. It was much harder. Nobody went to a trade show. So what we did, we built a cyber trailer. The cyber trailer actually took a full booth trade show that includes big part of our lab. We put it on our trailer, and then we brought it to our customer site. The cyber trailer was the foundation of all of the labs that we have worldwide. Protecting critical infrastructure is hard. Understanding the risk at critical infrastructure is hard. And what more powerful than building a full-blown lab that mimic a critical infrastructure with attack simulation to simulate what the risk is all about.
Having a lab, it's a statement of OPSWAT's mission. The lab allows us to show the customers exactly what OPSWAT has in terms of ecosystem and platform, and helps us tell the OPSWAT story a lot better to potential customers and even existing customers visiting our office.
The lab is an experience about how the OPSWAT products are operating, how the OPSWAT products are going to be integrated in your network architecture. It's a lot different when you actually experience the products directly, when you can put your fingers on it. You don't need to experience it through a mouse or through a keyboard.
So OPSWAT has labs all around the world, and we actually show real malware and real ransomware. So it has a real effect on the customer's reaction because they see it happening. They're like, wow, that could really happen to me.
The experience in the SIP lab is actually like you go to an Apple store. When you go to an Apple store, you see the iPhone 15, the 14, the Apple Watch, the headset, everything in front of you to play and touch. The SIP lab is exactly like that, but for security. And I think this is a unique approach. It allows us to bring customers in to really experience the product. The SIP lab is really a neat idea.
The labs are essential for our employees to connect with the missions of critical infrastructure protection. The lab is essential for our channel partners to really get trained on what we do. The labs are essentials for our customers to come and simulate attacks. The labs are essential for our customer success and support our customers the best way we can. Every decision you make, you take a risk, though it has to be a calculated risk. So every time we make a decision, there is a risk. We're trying to always minimize the risk, and we're also trying to go and predict the result before we make a decision.
In 2021, OpSWAT acquired a North Carolina-based company called Bayshore Networks. What Bayshore brought us was a portfolio of products that helped us deliver on our vision of being a company that protected critical infrastructure.
Bayshore acquisition was another great milestone for the company. It was a great catalyst for critical infrastructure protection and helped us to accelerate the growth of the platform to more than 20 products relatively quickly. Whenever you're looking at success, you need to look at the long-term success. We're not looking at going, okay, success in couple of weeks or 3 weeks. We've been in multiple scenarios that customers told us, no way, we're not going to go and use that. And after that, they've been hit. I said, oh yeah, bring it on. We understand what you're talking about. So it's not only listening to the customer, it's guiding. It's working with your customers.
OpSWAT is a key piece of infrastructure for us, which allows Doomray to carry out its day-to-day business. It has taken us from a very old, antiquated way of dealing with removal media into a much more modern solution.
OpSWAT has clearly established themselves as an industry leader in the critical infrastructure. I can see them becoming, the de facto platform for securing OT and IT across the globe.
We actually use OpSWAT's partnership to ensure we don't have any malicious code on the devices that we are providing secure access to.
OpSWAT offers technology that allows us to communicate the data that's required while protecting both systems from unauthorized data requests.
We have a fantastic integration between Meta Access and the Horizon product.
We're extremely lucky to partner with OpSWAT, especially with the Meta Defender product line.
It's not, well, how much product can I sell you? It's how many solutions can we provide? How many problems can we solve?
There is nothing more encouraging and spirit lifting than sitting around a lab, sitting around a table, sitting around a whiteboard with customers that are trying to get to the proper cybersecurity solution and helping them achieve that goal.
We ask our customers, is what we're doing what you need? Are there more things we can do for you? And tell us about other aspects of your operations that have problems. Maybe we can come up with a solution for you, and we've done that in a number of ways. OpSWAT's focus on providing a stack of solutions is important from a customer perspective. You want to be a vendor that fills more and more needs for that customer. That's one of the things that OpSWAT is doing, is we're finding other needs within the organization to provide cybersecurity.
We've really transitioned into thinking about the use cases and what are the problems that we're truly trying to solve for our customers. Where can we take you to the next level? And I think that's exactly what OpSWAT aims to do.
I think if you want to be considered a leader in an industry, you have to have a track record of making bold decisions that end up working out very, very well. If you take a look at OpSWAT over its 20 years, they've consistently made bold decisions to protect critical infrastructure in ways nobody else has really thought of.
OpSWAT is all about grit. It's not about, oh, let's kind of have a fluke here or a fluke there. And things have been growing, always growing. However, there have been ups and downs all the time. It's all about kind of, if you have a down, how we can quickly recover. So today, we have 24 products in our platform. I can see that growing. The vision extends to more than 50 different products. Eventually we'll get there. Initially it was just myself bootstrapping the company, and now we have a full technology team.
We are always analyzing the cutting edge hardware that's out there and how it is applicable to our solutions to the customer. And this is not something we do on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, annual basis. We do this every day. Every day we are looking at what is the bleeding edge and can that benefit OPSWAT's customers in reliable cybersecurity for their SIP environment.
OPSWAT has grown exponentially over the last couple of years or so. Anytime you have growth like that, it is challenging, right? Because you have to be able to balance the business that you need to continue doing, as well as build in the scale that you need so you can continue to deliver at a high rate. So we absolutely are laser focused, again, not just growing top line, not just shrinking costs, but we're also looking at how do we keep growing the brand? How do we keep associating the brand with critical infrastructure protection throughout the world?
What good branding does is it goes beyond a tagline. It goes beyond a beautiful design. And what it does is it communicates the value to a customer for what that company does.
The mission is fantastic, protecting the world's critical infrastructure. It doesn't get better than that as a company mission statement. For me though, it's helping our customers be successful in solving their problems, helping our partners be successful, and helping my team and OPSWAT be successful. So just driving everyone to success is really what excites me.
We keep showing growth and growth and growth, which is something really, really amazing to see.
I think we'll see in Asia Pacific growth coming from two new areas. But before we get to that, the primary growth engines are currently India, but most importantly, Japan. We'll continue to see those grow rapidly over the next 3 to 5 years. The new growth markets are going to be Greater China region. Our products and services are approved for sale in China, and that opens up a huge market for us for multinational companies that are in China.
Compared to all other regions, our region is different because we are targeting two main verticals, which are government authorities and the financial institutions. When I say government authorities, it includes the ministries, definitely, armed forces. Other than that, we have utilities under government authorities and security intelligence authorities. We have also have some plans to double our business in the region, and especially focusing on OT side, the critical infrastructure side.
We focus on the things we know we can improve, and as a team we work together to do that. And it's, as a salesperson, it's not about being there out on your own. The whole company is behind us, and it's brilliant. We have a sales-first culture. I see that as customer first. We look after our internal customer, we support them, we look after our partners, we sell alongside them, and ultimately we look after our customer.
I think that over the next 5 years, OPSWAT will remain at the forefront of cybersecurity, producing solutions that will range from cloud-based services to IoT devices and everything in between.
I do see OPSWAT as a company as the first critical infrastructure company that is a public company.
You feel all of these dedicated people with the same motivation, the same energy that keeps you flowing forward.
These are the most intelligent, creative, motivated group of people I've ever had the pleasure of working with.
I'm proud of what I do. To me, more than anything else, that's what keeps me at OPSWAT. I'm proud of what we do. It gets back to doing well by doing good.
In my vision, OPSWAT will be world famous.
We're lucky to be part of this. In 5 or 10 years, we're going to be the leaders of critical infrastructure protection.
Here, the people want to raise the bar to achieve the highest standard.
Innovation at OPSWAT takes all of us. It takes a family. And with all of us working together, we are able to push the cutting edge, the bleeding edge boundaries of technology.
I believe that when we can project that mission and that commitment to the mission, the customers get it.
At OPSWAT, it's always about, number one, making sure the customer's experience is great.
How many solutions can we provide? How many problems can we solve?
What separates OPSWAT is just how complete our offering is and the fact that it is best in class.
I don't think that there is a way where we can succeed and we can make OPSWAT great without working together.
To be successful, you need to remain focused, remain motivated, and continue to innovate forward.
Now's the time. You want to be here now because we're doing amazing things and it's ready to explode.
As successful as we have been, as large as we've become, it's still a beginning.
You can't just say goodbye at the end of a video or thanks for tuning in. You gotta have a sign-off. But how would I introduce it? So, when cybersecurity pros and OpSWAT connect, sorry.
We connect the dots in ways that we connect the dots in ways that are interesting.
And I don't want to be in the outtakes either.
All right.
Hollywood Dan Lanier.
All right.
How would we, I'm just trying to think how we would segue into it.
How long you want to be that story? Because that could be a half-an-hour story in itself.
Take your hair, just see hit that one here. There you go. Superman curl. There you go. All right, good.
Put that in. I like that.
Makeup.
Yeah, just want to damp the edges right now.
It's called the circle of life. I'm gonna have like Lion King.
I can see it now. Here we go.
That needs cybersecurity.
What is that?
I think it's the door that's opening, or somebody setting an alarm. To service one part of OT. Okay. But I love your shirt, by the way.
Are dedicated to their work, that are motivated just like myself. And every day they come to the office.
And the formation, the foundation of Meta Defender really happened. However, the best thing that happened is that I met Shira.
All right.